Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. Just let me tell you ahead of time, today we will have a short class. I will end at your 7:30, my 5 p.m. because at 7:45 I have a class in ISKCON Philadelphia. So whatever we can do in this time, let us try to cover. Let's read Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, verse chapter 13, I think text 22. Does anyone need to go first? No? So we'll go in order. Let me just. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita. You're not ready. Madhava. Not ready. Usha Mataji and Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji.
Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunte prakriti jan gunan karanam gunak sangosya sat asat yoni janmasu. Translation. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. Thank you, Mataji. Mera will read it the last, Mataji.
Okay. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunkate prakritirjan gunan karanam guna sangosya sat asat yoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species.
Yeah, thank you, Hare Krishna. Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Purushah prakritisto hi bhunkte prakriti jangunan karanam
Karanam.
karanam
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 guna sangosya.
karanam guna sangosya sat asat yoni janmasu. Translation. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due
To his
to his
association.
association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next Saujanya Mataji and Pragya.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Purusha prakritisto hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya sad asad yoni janmashu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna.
Prajna needs little time. She'll
Okay,
join.
yeah. So, Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita, are you ready? Madhava, are you ready?
Purusa prakritisto hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam gunasangosya sarasajoni janmasu. The living entity in the material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species.
Yes. Anyone else? I'll recite Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, text 22. Purushaha prakritisto hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sangosya sadasadyo nijanmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of material nature. This is due to his association with the material nature, with that material nature. And thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Last call. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Purusha prakritisto hi bhunte prakriti jangunan karanam guna sangosya sad asadyoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Okay, since I have to end early today, I don't have much time to wait. Let's do Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 22. The descendants of Ajamida, King Ajamida. That's the chapter we've been reading. So, if you remember, we read Ajamida, Dvimida, Purumida are the three sons of Hasti. Hasti is the descendant of King Kuru. Okay? So, from Ajamida through his son Nila and then the descendants following him, we saw through Brihadratha, right? So, Uparichara Vasu. One king's name is Uparichara Vasu. And Uparichara Vasu had many sons headed by Brihadratha. This Brihadratha, all these sons, they became the rulers of the kingdom of Chedi. And Brihadratha he was the father of Jarasandha. Okay. Then Ajamida had another son called Riksha. Riksha's son was Samvarana, who married the daughter of son Tapati, and they had a son called Kuru, who is the king of Kurukshetra. So this Kuru had 4 sons. So Sudhanu, Janu, Nishadha, and Parikshi. So from Sudhanu, we saw in his line came Prishata, and Prishata's son is Drupada. And then, so the whole, Drupada's son is Drishtadyumna, his daughter is Draupadi, like that. And then Drishtadyumna's son is Drishtaketu. Okay. Then Parikshi had no sons. Then Janu. From Janu comes, in his line comes Dilipa, Pratipa. So this is like one after another. So Dilipa's son is Pratipa. Pratipa had 3 sons, Devapi, Shantanu, and Bahlika. So there we read about Devapi. how he left the kingdom. So Shantanu Maharaj became the king. And also we read how Devapi is still living in a village called Kalapagram. So he will re-establish the Moon dynasty in the next Satyuga. Also, earlier we had read when we were reading the Sun dynasty, there was one king called Maru. He's also still living and he will re-establish the Sun dynasty. Just an additional point here. Both of them are living in the same village, Kalapagrama, even now, incognito. By their mystic power, they're still living. When the next Satyuga starts, they will re-establish or restart the Sun and Moon dynasties of Kshatriyas. Because once again, the Varnashram system is going to come into existence. Now it's almost over. I mean, where do you find? Maybe some remnants here and there you may see a little bit. But of course, now is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's golden age. So for 10,000 years, from the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for 10,000 years, it's called the golden age. So during that golden age, the Varnashram system will also flourish, right? Everyone will become Krishna conscious. It's going to become like Satyuga. Within this terrible Kali Yuga, there will be a Satyuga. These 10,000 years. So it's still now in a budding stage. It's going to flourish and bloom and come to its full glory. So that's there. But after that, Kali Yuga is going to become very bad. So so by the end of Kali Yuga, no more Kshatriyas. No Sun dynasty, Moon dynasty, no Kshatriyas. Already now also there's no Kshatriyas. But the situation is going to become really bad. So by the end of Kali Yuga, then whoever is so-called leader, ruler, is actually not a Kshatriya. They're all less than Shudras. Either Shudras or less than Shudras. They take power. Today's verse, my verse that I'm supposed to speak on in ISKCON Philly is about Kalki Avatar only. So I'm just remembering how Srila Prabhupada, I mean, so many times in one purport, I don't know how many times he calls these rulers, right, of Kali Yuga, they're low class, uncivilized, labor class people, and animal like, so on and so forth. He goes on and on and on. He gives the, and in Sanskrit the word is Vrishala. So these are the rulers in Kali Yuga. No Kshatriyas. But after Kalki comes, he will kill all the so-called rulers. And then the remaining people, whoever will be remaining, they will, within their hearts, Lord Vasudev will, they will actually experience the fragrance of Lord Vasudev. So this is all the good population ready to start the Satyuga. Actually, with Kalki's appearance and after Kalki Dev kills all these, Mlechas and Yavanas, okay, Madhava is saying, unskilled laborer class social animals. Okay, these are the rulers of Kali Yuga. Unskilled laborer class social animals. And we can elaborate on that further on each word. But yeah. So then Satyuga begins. As soon as these people are killed, now Satyuga begins. Their consciousness will all be pure. And now, once again, population will start increasing. There will be Varnashram system once again. And Varnashram system means there will be proper Kshatriyas, proper Vaishyas, Shudras, Brahmanas. Everyone will be there. So then at that time, how the Kshatriyas will come? Devapi and Maru. Maru will start the Sun dynasty. Devapi will start means it's already started with Sun. And Sun dynasty started with Vivaswan. Moon dynasty started with Chandra, but it stopped in the middle. Sometimes you say, right, some animals became extinct. We say, like the dinosaur is extinct. Extinct means for the time being you don't see them. It doesn't mean they're gone for good. They're all part of creation. Nothing goes for good. It's just not visible to us for the time being because the time is not favorable for them. Just like, mosquitoes. Mosquitoes come when the atmosphere is favorable for them. In winter time, we didn't have mosquitoes. It was so cold, no mosquitoes. Now, as the weather started warming up, so many mosquitoes. So if somebody comes in winter and he says, "Oh, there's no mosquitoes, mosquitoes have become extinct," he's foolish. Just the conditions are not favorable, so you don't see them at that time. But once again, when the condition becomes favorable for them, they will come back. So similarly, nothing is extinct and gone forever. They are there, just the conditions are not favorable for them to exist at present. Like the Kshatriyas also. Kali Yuga is not favorable, especially the end of Kali Yuga. It's not favorable place. Why Kshatriyas? Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, nobody's there. Now, because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's happening. But otherwise in Kali Yuga, no. So, but in Satya Yuga, once again, everyone will come. So then there will be, the society will be filled up. So anyway, we are reading about the dynasties here. So what did we read? Up to what? Okay, let me finish that, the line. So we read about Devapi, Shantanu and Bahlika are the three sons of Pratipa. So Devapi, so we were talking about Devapi, how he will continue in the next Satyuga. Now Shantanu Maharaj. We read Shantanu Maharaj had a son Bhishma. Then we read about the glory of Bhishma. Yes, Bhishma, he had Bhishma Dev from Ganga Devi as his wife. And Bhishma Dev is a self-realized devotee of the Lord and very learned and also military, with such military power that he even defeated his own guru, military guru, Parashuram, an incarnation of the Lord. And that Parashuram was defeated by his own disciple, he was actually very pleased. So in that relation, we also discussed what were the circumstances under which Parashuram had, or Bhishma Dev had to fight with Parashuram. This was with regards to Amba. So that we discussed yesterday. So that was from Shantanu Maharaj, Bhishma Dev. Shantanu Maharaj, after Ganga Devi left, he married again. He married Satyavati. So then we read about Satyavati's history also. Satyavati was actually born in Ikshvaku dynasty, right? And her mother was Matsya Garbha. That means not Ikshvaku dynasty, the Moon dynasty only. Uparichara Vasu. Uparichara Vasu, the father of Brihadratha. So Uparichara Vasu, from a Matsya lady, a fisherwoman called Matsya Garbha, he had a daughter called Satyavati. And later this Satyavati was raised by a fisherman. That's why she came to be known as the king of fishermen's daughter, like that, Satyavati. But so through Satyavati, Shantanu Maharaj had two sons. Chitrangada, we read about Chitrangada, he fought with another, or a Gandharva named Chitrangada came and fought with this Chitrangada, and after a long fight, the Gandharva killed Chitrangada. So he was not even married, so there's no children after Chitrangada. Then he had another brother, younger brother, Vichitra Virya, the son of Satyavati, Shantanu and Satyavati. Vichitra Virya was married to Ambika and Ambalika, who were, brought by Bhishma Dev from Swayambar. Right? Like, forcibly, he just picked them up and brought them. Of course, they were happy to marry Vichitra Virya. Amba didn't want to marry, but Ambika and Ambalika married. But Vichitra Virya was so attached to his wives that he got tuberculosis, and then he died of a heart attack at a very young age before he could even have any children. Then Shantanu Maharaj, now Bhishma Dev took a vow of not marrying. Why he took that vow? So that Satyavati could, that was Satyavati's father's condition. Unless his daughter's children became the next king, he would not give his daughter in marriage to Shantanu Maharaj. So Bhishma Dev was in between because he was the older son, he would get the kingdom. So Bhishma Dev said, no, I give my kingdom to Satyavati's sons. I will not claim the kingdom. The fisherman was not satisfied. He said, you won't claim the kingdom, but your sons will claim. So he said, all right, I won't marry. Na rahegi baas, na bajegi bansuri. In Hindi they say. So if there is no flute, then there won't be flute playing also. Like that, I won't marry at all, then where I will have children who will come and claim the kingdom. I won't marry, I'll remain a celibate. That's with that condition. Again, there were other vows also taken, right? So many vows he took just to please his father. So then, so Bhishma Dev didn't have any children. So how the lineage will continue? Satyavati had 2 sons. Both of them died without any children. So now comes another story. Another story means there's another connection. Satyavati, before she married Shantanu Maharaj, she had a son, Vyasdev, from Parashara Muni. So we discussed that in yesterday's discussion, how Vyasdev was born. So it was a previous age. Vyasdev could, if a woman doesn't have her husband and she has no sons, she can beget children from her husband's brother. That was allowed. So Vyasdev was called because Vyasdev is Satyavati's son, and these 2 queens were Satyavati's son Vichitravirya's widows. So she called Vyasdev to impregnate them, and that's how the lineage continued. So we didn't read further on, who the sons were and all that. We didn't read. We just read that about Satyavati. So now we'll continue from there. Do you remember who's supposed to start today?
Me, Mataji. I have to start.
So Priyanka, Mataji. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. क्षेत्रे प्रजस्य वैभ्रातुर् मात्रोक्तो बादरायणः धृतराष्ट्रं च पाण्डुं च विदुरं चाप्यजीजनत्.
Bhadrayana Sri Vyasadeva, following the order of his mother, Satyavati, begot 3 sons, 2 by the womb of Ambika and Ambalika, the 2 wives of his brother Vichitravirya, and the 3rd by Vichitravirya's maidservant. These sons were Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So, of course. So, why Vyasdev begot a child in Vichitravirya's maidservant? So there's a history behind that. So these 2 wives, Ambika and Ambalika, they were widows of Vichitravirya. And then they were told that Vichitravirya's brother, they should wait upon Vichitravirya's brother. So first the older wife, Ambika, was sent. And Vyasdev, when he appeared, he was just coming down from the Himalayas. He looked pretty fierce, with his dreadlocks, and he was performing tapasya. And they didn't have. So then, when Ambika saw him, she was shocked. She was shocked. So out of fear, she just closed her eyes. So the result was the child born to her was born blind. So this was told even before the child was born. Vyasdev told Satyavati that the child will be blind because she closed her eyes. So therefore Satyavati, when she sent Ambalika, she made sure that she didn't close her eyes, and she said, don't close. But Ambalika also, when she saw Vyasdev, she was petrified. She was actually, she was shocked. But she made sure that she didn't close her eyes. But she was fearful. She turned pale. She turned pale. So therefore, her son was born pale. In fact, Pandu means the pale one who is pale. Like that. So when both of them were, like this, then Satyavati requested, please try one more time. Because we need an heir to the throne, an emperor for the planet. We need a strong king. So please try one more time. So Ambika, so they waited until Ambika gave birth to her son, Dhritarashtra, and then again they'll try another time. So then again the date was fixed, Vyasdev was called. Ambika was so fearful from her past experience that she couldn't even face Vyasdev. So instead of going herself, she sent her maidservant. But the maidservant was so gentle and so, she was with such in such service attitude. Vyasdev was so pleased with her. He was so pleased with her, and he blessed her that her child is going to be, the wise one. That was Vidura. So Ambika's son, the blind son, was Dhritarashtra. Ambalika's son was Pandu, and Ambika's maidservant's son became Vidura. Okay. Badarayana, Sri Vyasdev, following the order of his mother Satyavati, begot 3 sons, 2 by the womb of Ambika and Ambalika, the 2 wives of his brother Vichitravirya, and the third by Vichitravirya's maidservant. These sons were Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Purport: Saujanya Mataji and Prajna.
Vichitravirya died of tuberculosis, and his wives Ambika Ambalika had no issue. Therefore, after Vichitravirya's death, his mother Satyavati, who was also the mother of Vyasadev, asked Vyasadev to beget children through the wives of Vichitravirya. In those days, the brother of the husband could beget children through the womb of his sister-in-law. This was known as the Devarena Sutotpati. Um, if the husband was somehow unable to beget the children, his brother could do so through the womb of his sister-in-law. This Devarena Sutotpatti and the sacrifices of Ashwamedha and Gomedha are forbidden in the age of Kali.
Continue, Mataji.
Ashwamedham Kavalambham Sanyasham Palapaitrikam Devarena Sutotpatim Kalau Pancha Vivarjayet. In this age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyasa, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and a man's begetting children in his brother's wife. Vaivarta Purana. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So we discussed this also previously, how these 5 sacrifices or these 5 acts are forbidden in Kali Yuga, but they were They were allowed in previous ages. Ashwamedham means Ashwamedha Yagya, where a horse is sacrificed. Kavalambam means a cow sacrifice, a sacrifice in which a cow is, sacrificed. Sannyasam, accepting of sannyas, we discussed that also. Sannyas means here we are talking about the Ekadanda sannyas, right? Sannyas means you become one with, you think that by acceptance of sannyas you become, you merge into the Brahman, like that. Ekadanda sannyas. That sannyas is forbidden. In previous ages, people would do that, right? There are jnanis, but in this age, it won't work. The jnana path, it's not possible to practice in this age, right? Sannyasam. Because for one to practice jnana, he has to accept sannyas. There's no possibility of, there is bhakti, there is jnana. Jnana cannot be practiced until and unless you accept sannyas. Before you accept sannyas, you have to follow Nishkama Karma Yoga until you get Antaha Karana Shuddhi. Antaha Karana Shuddhi means you don't identify yourself with this body anymore. You realize that you're not this body, you're a spirit soul. That is Antaha Karana Shuddhi. So until and unless you have that, so when you get that, when you realize you're not this body, then you actually give up family life and job and everything. You take sannyas. Then jnana starts. Then jnana path starts. So that's why that type of sannyas is forbidden in Kali Yuga. And what is the goal of jnana? Merge in Brahman. That's the goal of jnana. Even for Ashtanga Yoga, when the goal of Ashtanga Yoga is Brahman, merging into Brahman. Ashtanga Yoga goal can be realizing Paramatma and merging into Paramatma. That can be the goal. Or it can also be that through this, by practicing Ashtanga Yoga, like the Dhyana Yoga, which is described in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. By practicing that Dhyana Yoga, one wants to merge into Brahman in the end. So either the Dhyana Yoga or Jnana Yoga, one has to accept sannyas. So that type of acceptance of sannyas, forbidden in Kali Yuga. No sannyas. Tridandi sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself accepted. Of course, Tridandi sannyas. What does Tridanda mean? Body, mind and words. My body, mind and words are completely offered to Krishna. That means with this body, with this mind and with these words, I engage. And everything else you have already given up. When you take sannyas, you don't keep a bank account, you don't keep your property or your family and nothing, you leave everything. But you still have your body, you have your mind and your, speech, power, ability to speak. So all these also you give to Krishna. That means with these you'll only serve Krishna. You won't use these for anything except service of Krishna. That is Tridandi sannyas. Tridandi sannyas is allowed. Devotional service. But Ekadanda sannyas is not allowed in Kali Yuga. It's forbidden. Ashwamedham Gavalambham Sannyasam Palapaitrikam. Palapaitrikam. Palapaitrikam means Pitris, your ancestors. And what is Pala? You're offering flesh. Offering of flesh to forefathers in Shraddha. It's forbidden in Kali Yuga. That means in previous yugas they used to offer. Apparently, that's why it is said it is forbidden in Kali Yuga. They would offer flesh to forefathers. But in Kali Yuga, you cannot do that. And the last one is Devarena Sutotpatti, producing children from husband's brother. Devar, right? In Hindi also you say Devar. Devar means brother-in-law. Husband's brother is called Devar. Specifically, younger brother is called Devar. Husband's younger brother is called Devar. So if for some reason husband is not able to produce children, for whatever reason, or if the husband is deceased, and the woman is allowed to get children from husband's brother. But that practice is forbidden in Kali Yuga. Okay, so why we are reading this here? Because Vyasdev or Ambika and Ambalika, they got children from their husband's brother, Vyasdev. That was in a previous Yuga, not in Kali Yuga. It was allowed then. So now we are reading the descendants of King Ajamila. So we should also remember the track in which we are moving. While we are discussing the details, we should also remember the flow of the verses. So we are reading about the descendants of Ajamila. So we are reading about the descendants from Shantanu Maharaj. So we came up to Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Of course, Vidura is born from a maid servant. Okay, text 26. If Prajna is there, she can read. Gandharyam Dhritarashtrasya Jagge Putra Shatam Nripa Tatra Duryodhano Jyeshto Dushala Chapi Kanyaka.
Mataji, Prajna left, Mataji.
She left. Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dhritarashtra's wife, Gandhari, gave birth
Gandhari
gave birth to 100 sons and one daughter. Okay? The oldest of the sons was Duryodhana, and the daughter's name was Dushala.
Dushala. Yeah, thank you. So now we read so Vichitra Virya, they'll be counted as Vichitra Virya's sons. Even though they were begotten by Vyasdev, they are known as Vichitra Virya's sons. So, because they are begotten in Vichitra Virya's widows, his wives. So they belong to the line of Shantanu Maharaj. Vyasdev is not in the line of Shantanu Maharaj. Vyasdev's father is Parashara Muni. Through his mother, they are related. Satyavati's son Vyasdev and Satyavati's sons Vichitra Virya. So, but the sons begotten by Vyasdev are counted as Vichitra Virya's sons only. Okay. So, the lineage is continuing from Shantanu Maharaj. So, Shantanu Maharaj's son Vichitra Virya's sons Dhritarashtra, Pandu and Vidura. Of course, we don't read about Vidura's lineage because again, he cannot become the king because his mother is a maid servant. So we have only Dhritarashtra and Pandu. So now we are reading about Dhritarashtra's sons. 100 sons headed by Duryodhana and one daughter Dushala. So next we will be reading about Pandu, but it's 5 o'clock. As I said at the beginning of this class, today we are ending the class early because I have another class in Espanfili. But tomorrow Aditi Lata Mataji will read, Arunita has read already, and then we will start again. And I won't be reading Bhagavad Gita also now. Sorry. I won't be reading Bhagavad Gita also or Leelamrita. We will do it tomorrow. Okay? Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All of you
Thank you,
have a
Mataji.
wonderful
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.